I'm fun at parties. I'll say it.
You're great at parties.
I love
Am I invited? I'm fun at parties.
You're
Sammy,
absolutely invited.
I promise. I'll bring snacks.
What if I was like, you're so not invited to our party?
I'd say,
Oh, that'd be good.
what a great plug, though. I'll take it because that was perfect.
Hello, everybody. This is Yenta, the Yenta Podcast. The Yenta Podcast where I get everybody's juicy secrets.
So juicy.
We have an insane guest today on the pod. Wait, first I'm gonna introduce my co-host Antonia Lassar.
I'm nobody. I'm a schmuck.
Our guest today is the amazing, the wonderful Sammi Cohen. Give it up for Sammi.
Thank you, guys.
You might know them as the director of You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah, and also the director of Crush, and also just an incredible human in the past 20 minutes that we've been schmoozing.
It has been a schmooze love fest over here.
A truly incredible schmooze fest. I mean, listeners, like normally, our guest comes in and they're lovely and we sort of awkwardly get to know each other. And Sammi walked in and just immediately we've been full on gossiping
about the Jewish shul, about where we're going for Rosh Hashanah.
About where we're going for Rosh Hashanah.
The different shuls. Well, I want to say the beautiful way that this came into existence is that our mutual friend Anna Goodman connected us, which well, first of all, I don't know if you saw, I did slide into your DMs wait, backtrack. I watched You're So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah for the first time on this screen right here. There's a projector in the back of us on this wall.
Raye is gesturing to a screen that is
on this wall.
On the wall.
It's not.
But there is a beautiful white wall.
It's a beautiful white wall that
made
you
for
can
projector.
imagine. Yes. I was like, who made this? I have to have them on my pod. And then I was like, they're a queer, non-binary Jew?
Surprise.
What? It makes
You were
sense.
like, what a sin.
Terrible. Should not exist.
Got to get this person back on the derech.
And then I slid into your DMs. No response. Totally makes sense.
I'm the worst at social media.
You should,
So bad.
No, and then I ran into Anna Goodman at this queer party that she runs called Hidden Hearts.
Oh yeah,
Shout out to Hidden Hearts.
We love Hidden Hearts.
Shout out to Anna Goodman. And I was like, I'm trying to get the director on my pod. She's like, I know the director. It was such a beautiful LA Jewy moment.
The best.
LA Jewy queer moment.
Yep.
That led to this. And now you're here.
And here we are.
Yeah, and we have so much to schmooze about. I don't even know where to start.
I know we interrupted the schmoozing to start recording
Yeah.
the
We did.
podcast.
That's
and now
true.
we have to get back to the schmoozing.
Yes.
Well, anytime I walk in the door and I could openly talk about gluten-free digestive issues, I know I'm in a safe space. I mean, we're all Jews, we get it, but I just go, I'm home.
Yeah. Because I was like, do you want any bagels?
Welcome to the Ashkenazi culture. Yeah, we offered you
truly.
bagels, and then you
I'm
said,
so
I'm
sorry.
gluten-free because my digestion doesn't work. And
Okay, let's start with You're So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
heard of it?
The movie? The most amazing movie?
I mean, can we just rave for a second? It was fantastic. Truly,
Yeah,
utterly
so much
fantastic.
fun.
I know you're hearing this from every
Yeah.
human on this earth already, and we just need to add to the cacophony of people just praising. It was so good. It was so...
Do you ever get tired of the praise?
No, I'm like, because I go, wait, really? I don't know. Maybe the need to continuously be, it just, it feels good. I love it
we'll
so
keep
much.
doing it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I love it so much. I'm just like, what, really?
Yeah.
I'm so glad you like it.
Ugh, and all the beautiful queer moments thrown in there.
I did I wanted it to be a little bit more gay.
Yeah.
And I did my best. And I will say I learned a few things I didn't even know. One of which, I learned what a B'nai Mitzvah was. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Like a non-binary mitzvah.
Yeah, very new.
Yeah.
Mostly coastal, I will say.
And I've heard B mitzvah.
That's more
too.
common,
Yeah.
it seems like, because I talked to, before when we were doing prep for the movie and I'd read the script, it was great and I was madly in love with the story and everyone involved. But then I went, this needs to be a little more gay.
Yes.
And so I was sort of like, okay. And I wanted to make sure, too, we had like bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, because the, it centers around bat mitzvah. But I went, wait a minute. Is there anything these days? Because as a kid, I didn't have at 13. I did not have my bat mitzvah.
Ooh.
I was like struggling with all my stuff. It took me so long to come out. But I'm like, it would have been so much easier for me to just have a B mitzvah. And when I discovered this was a thing and people were doing it, I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, we need to do this. So the first big party is a B'nai Mitzvah.
Yes.
And Sandler was so stoked to put it in there. I was like, this is the best.
Oh, I love
my
that.
God, that's
so great.
Sweet.
This leads perfectly into my next question. How was Adam Sandler with the they, them pronouns?
So Anna, we've become like, he is one of my best buds. Like during this making this movie, I like love him. He's like a dad who's also your best friend, but also just like one of my best friends. He's really great. He asks questions. He'll even call me. A couple days ago, he called me. He's like, "Hey, I'm writing this song. If I use this phrase, is that okay?" Like he genuinely like supports it, wants to, and like. It's like curiosity and just wanting to be like, am I saying this right? Is this offensive or is this supportive?
Was it part of queer culture or Jewish culture?
Queer culture.
That he was asking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's
writing a song about queer culture.
He references, like, he uses a word, and I went, oh, that's totally fine. I'm like, there's nothing. Yeah, it's a positive, like, use of it. So
everybody learned from Adam Sandler. Like, you just have to ask in a nice way.
Yeah.
Because I think people are scared to talk about it. They're scared to ask about it.
Even
they're like,
I'm scared to talk about, like, even like as a queer non-binary person, I go, oh God, like I get all like choked up and I'm like, I get weird still about asking. And then I love it, like when he brings something up and he goes, is this right? Even when we were shooting the B'nai Mitzvah scene, there was a line of dialogue we had to change on the day, and he said, how would the DJ say this? They're becoming like, you wouldn't say he or she's becoming an adult. I was like, you would just say, oh, they're becoming an adult. And he's like, oh, right, that makes sense. So it's just simple conversations, but he's the best.
Love that.
I know.
And people who can ask these questions without making it such a big deal.
Yes.
Just ask them like the normal questions they are, instead of being like, wait, hold on.
Right. Oh, is it going to be plural now?
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Adam Sandler. Queer icon.
What a queer icon. What a mensch.
What a mensch.
No, he's the best.
Another aspect of queer Jewish culture that you absolutely nailed in the movie is that these days all rabbis are queer women. I don't know. I don't think she was explicitly called queer in the movie, but she's very queer coded.
Yes.
And
it's
mullet energy.
The mullet.
But I feel like maybe that's just Sarah Sherman.
It's a little bit just Sarah Sherman bringing Sarah Sherman to the table. But there's a lot of queer energy there. And it was never an explicit thing. In my mind, everyone's a little gay, but that's just me.
Well, sure.
You know what I mean?
And in Reform Judaism,
everyone's a little gay.
It's even gayer.
It does get pretty gay.
Have you seen a group of like Reform rabbinical students? Gay.
That's so real.
I mean,
so gay, so queer, so non-binary.
Yeah.
There you go.
A rabbi.
Yeah.
A wannabe rabbi.
There are a lot of queer rabbis, queer female identified, like, and I love it. There's why am I forgetting her name? But the Sandlers, I went to, Sunny had her bat mitzvah before the movie.
Yes, the big one.
The big one, and went to the services.
Adam's Maroon 5 played, right?
So Maroon 5, I think, played at Sadie's.
Oh, my bad.
And Charlie Puth and Halsey performed at this one. Sure. I did not go to the first one. But I went to the bat mitzvah and then the services, but they have a queer female rabbi, and she's amazing.
Where do they go to synagogue?
Palisade, like on the, Palisades on that side of town.
Great.
But
wow,
we love to see it.
Oh, queer Jewish culture. Wait, can we talk about because you said your next project. Can we talk about it?
I can't. I can be really coded and
okay.
Because it's a weird,
I'll just say everyone who listens to this podcast is queer and Jewish.
So here's what I'll say.
That's like, this is
perfect. Yeah. So this is what I can say. I did a movie for the gays. I did a movie for the Jews. Now I'm doing a movie for the gay Jews. If all goes well, you know?
Hashem.
Let's put it out there, but
we need it.
Yeah.
it's a weird time. So it was started before the strike, but now the strike is looming and there's all this. So we're hoping when we're done, it picks back up. But we need one for the gay Jews.
Amen. I mean, the only thing that we have right now is I feel like transparent for queer Jews.
Yeah.
And that's series or what are your?
I mean, Shiva Baby touch it like a little bit.
That's true. Shiva Baby's a biggie.
It dipped its toe in, and I was, I was like, no, let's go further. But
and
that's the closest, I think.
Awful documentary about the abuse.
Right. Oh, sorry, I forgot about all of those. Yeah, and those are all orthodox, cult energy. We left.
I've been watching too many of those.
Yeah.
In research, yeah.
It's funny when you're making queer Jewish content because I think a lot of people want to be like, if you're doing this, you have to acknowledge the abuse and the harm. And I'm like, honestly, the majority of the art is already doing that. The majority of the conversation is already there. There are not enough people making content about queer Jews having fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Loving being queer, loving being Jewish,
It's true.
Yeah.
What I'll say is even when because I'm watching a lot of Holocaust documentaries, unfortunately.
Treat yourself.
I know. It's really light. We're going to keep this podcast really light.
Yeah.
But what I will say is there is a beautiful pattern that I see where they're also finding moments, whether it's queer or not. There's all these moments where people weren't always queer. I have a triangle on my neck for that.
Ooh,
I got tattoos.
That.
I'm a bad Jew, but I also have Hebrew on my arm.
What does it say?
It says B'nai Mitzvah. I got it after the movie.
That's so lovely.
Are you going to have a B'nai Mitzvah?
I did you know how you can do the bat mitzvah when you want birthright?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Really I did that.
On top of Masada.
Yep.
Was it on top of Masada?
It was. Yeah. They did. There was we did it in 2 parts. We did it there and then, where was the second? I don't know. Anyway, I did it there. So a part of me does want to have a real B'nai Mitzvah.
Get Adam to throw it for you.
Oh my
Get
God.
Maroon 5. Halsey.
Can you believe the B'nai Mitzvah you could have right now? And
I feel like we need to make this happen.
The rabbis who would be falling over themselves to help a non-binary Jew embrace their Judaism.
I haven't really given this much thought. I'm kind of thinking
we're planning it for you right now.
Yeah, I love it. We're the theme is underwater.
My theme was music at my.
I was gonna ask you guys.
Yeah,
music.
Just music.
But music's that's so cool.
It's just so vague.
But I love it. But was every table a band, a genre of music?
Oh.
You remember?
Man, I do not think we got that far, Sammy. I think it was just music. And then I had T-shirts with musical notes on it and hearts. And it said Rena's Rocking Bat Mitzvah because that's my birth name. That was that was the swag. And
I love the swag.
Yeah. And it was very chill. I didn't read from the Torah because Orthodox women don't read from the Torah.
Yep.
So I loved seeing that in the film. I mean, I guess that's kind of basic for you guys.
Yeah, it's really standard reform.
It's very reform.
Reading from the Torah. Wow. Yeah.
But it is.
I wish I got to.
I mean, I like that we made it an active choice because we couldn't. This is not representing all Jews, and obviously this is very reform in the movie, but it was nice, and that was obviously a big part of it. But because we want to see that.
And we were talking about, it's representing a huge demographic of Jews that are
the biggest,
often not acknowledged as being such a huge demographic.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they are right. It is the biggest think reform.
Yeah.
It must be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you were saying how in Orthodox Judaism they're they're basically Reform and conservative Jews. They don't exist.
They don't exist.
They're not.
Their culture
real.
is dying.
Yeah.
We're saying this like it's a joke, but people
that's
literally say this.
Yeah. There's a lot of queer Orthodox Jews now. Are you familiar at all?
No.
Yeah, because I'm really involved in that community where there's literally synagogues that are full of queer couples, queer Orthodox couples that there's still a mechitza. There's women and men separately, but gay couples. So there's a lot of negotiations that they're making, but
They're like accepting to a degree, but then like the formality, they don't like let it go to.
Yeah, it's like they have to deal with the RCA, like the bigger rabbinic authority, and they have to like if they're part of that shul, then they have to do it like that. But
it's kind of amazing though that they like that. To me, I go, okay, so it's like starting to change. That's really cool.
Exactly.
I had no idea.
There's the whole trad egal movement, traditional egalitarian, which is kind of a notch down from where you're talking about because they pretty much get rid of the mechitza. Do you know what the mechitza is?
No.
It's the wall that separates the men and women's sides in an Orthodox synagogue.
Yep.
So sorry.
Yep. No.
Throwing out the Jewishy words.
Sometimes I'll go no, and then I went, oh yeah.
Yeah, that one. The pizza.
I don't know. I can't remember if we were recording. I put the ish in Jewish. I'm Jewish, but so reformed. So I'm a Cali kid, and everything's very chill here.
Wait, let's get back to you. I want to talk about you and like how did you grow up as a Jew, and how are you connected to your Judaism now? Like.
Yes.
Great question. I'm from the San Fernando Valley. Grew up in Woodland Hills, Calabasas area. Grew up with a ton of Jewish kids. We were super like reform, very liberal family. So we went to temple. I did a little bit of Hebrew school, and then I backed out very like before my I would have had my bat mitzvah. Yeah. My mom did. This is the kind of family we were. So my mom was like, I'm not going to make you do it. My parents are divorced. And so I was like, please don't make me do this, Mom. Not going to make you do it. Still threw me the party.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yes. She's the best. Yeah. So I got to have.
Wow.
Did you pretend like you had read the Torah that morning?
I didn't. I didn't. I just went, great. We're just going to do the party. So we went to temple. We did some of the high holidays. We did, Passover, all like Hanukkah, everything at home. And that was always a big deal. But then, I didn't do I grew up. I took a little bit. I did what's it called in college for a second, BBYO. For a second.
I know BBYO.
I went to Santa Barbara. I did that for a hot second. And then I was like, then I did music and film. And then I recently, very recently have kind of found my way back to Nefesh. And we were talking about, going back to temple. And so now I'm doing Shabbat and doing, a little bit more. But I kind of miss, it's funny, this movie got me, I was already kind of dipping my toe back in and being okay, I'm an adult. I want my own family and practice and to do this more seriously. And then the movie kind of being with the Sandlers, going to temple and doing all that, I was like, I really missed this. So now I'm doing it way more regularly since the movie.
Yeah. I find that a lot of, I grew up with it obviously more intense, but after leaving for a little bit and not doing it at all, and now I'm like, this is actually way more beautiful than I even remembered it being.
Yeah.
And I'm finding more truth in it too.
That's how I feel. I was coming back to it. I think as a kid, I felt obligated to do the stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm going oh, this is really reconnecting me to family, community, chosen family. I even I called my mom, as I do almost every day as a good Jewish.
That's actually so nice.
Kid.
Your mom must love that.
Nice, and I try, but then if a week goes by, are you alive? Yes, I'm alive.
Yeah.
I'm alive.
But she's from California.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
She grew up in the Valley too.
Yeah.
But she's really good at the Jewish Guild. And now my stepdad, who's not Jewish at all, is even better at it.
Ooh.
And I'm like,
wow.
Okay, guys.
Okay, cultural appropriation.
Yeah, truly.
Wow.
Stay in your lane. Guilt tripping is our thing.
Ooh.
But no, they're the sweetest. Where was I going with this? My mom.
Finding more truth in it now.
Yeah, and going from obligation to something you choose is huge.
It feels so good. And I'm just happier. I called, that's what it was. I called her. I was leaving a couple weeks ago. I was at a Shabbat dinner and it was lovely. And I was driving home and I just felt so happy. I'm recently single. I was in a really dark place and I went, this feels so nice. It just is kind of connecting me back with people I love. So yeah, as an adult, I'm like, okay, this is great. I get it.
Yeah. And I feel like maybe every Jew needs to go through that struggle of I don't like this. I'm like, actually, it's not that bad.
Yeah. No, it's really not. Yeah. It's quite nice.
How is your if we can discuss it, your non-binary journey? Did that come through your Jewish journey at all, or was it totally
good question
on its own thing?
I think want to say everything is kind of entwined, but I think it was a little bit separate. Took me a long time to come out, and then it took me a little bit longer to come out again as non-binary. And the second time, but it's been a long, very, very slow, chill process. I didn't come out till I was 20. Like, I was in a hetero relationship in my 20s, and then when I was 26, I went, which felt so late to me. I was like, oh man, everyone's starting to settle down. I got to get out of this. Yeah. So I started dating women. All my friends are getting married, and I'm, getting fingered at the cloak closet at their wedding, that sort of stuff. And then so I really
coat closet.
No, but
that would be
I'm
fun.
Sure that also existed. And then that was I was immediately like, okay, this is it. Mm-hmm. And then I only through stand-up like a year and a half ago, came out as non-binary out loud to people.
Through stand-up?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Brave.
The first time I said it out loud, I was doing stand-up. I don't know. It gave me like
baller.
I think because I was able to like, it wasn't like I was laughing at myself but like the levity of it and just like it kind of, I don't know why in that way I was like, yeah, I can talk about this. It's, I'm doing whatever, putting on a character. Like it's not even a character. It just felt like I love wearing sunglasses. It makes me feel safer. And that was like a safe way for me to do it.
You have your sunglasses on
Always.
Your shirt
Always.
Right now. When you said it, were you just like, yeah, I'm non-binary. As you all know, no big deal. Or were you like, I'm non-binary announcement?
I said it so nonchalantly. I said it like, my mom makes this joke because before I came out as gay, which is like how I came out, but before I dated women, for years, and I didn't remember this, my mom pointed out, for years I would say, yeah, but everyone's a little gay, very nonchalantly. And then
which you also said 20 minutes ago.
I say it still.
On brand.
Always. Yeah. But then when I came out, I remember like my mom one point was like, do you think you were just trying to like lay the groundwork? And I was like, yeah, maybe. And I think I do that. I'll just say it very nonchalantly because I don't want it to be a big deal. I really don't want it to be a big deal because it is very important to me, but it wasn't like a big exclamation. I was just like, I'm non-binary. Yeah. And then I, talked about, I made some joke about not even being but just pivoted into a joke.
Okay. So you just dropped and then moved on something totally different.
You didn't even passion on exploiting your marginalized identity.
What was the joke? No, I did. I definitely did.
Later
because that's what we do. Yeah. It was being just that everything's gendered. Like we gender everything. So it's a joke about, like it doesn't make sense. Gynecology. What the fuck are we doing? Right?
Good.
Hysterectomy, semen.
Oh my God.
Everything's gender. And then, it's semen. Let's just call semen what it is. Gross, That was the joke. And then I just moved on.
That's good.
Wow. And how did that feel for you after?
Kid.
How did it feel after you were just like released?
It felt very, I think I just more and more feel like myself and comfortable and it just felt good. And it was like a safe space.
Where is a safe space in LA stand-up comedy?
There's a lot of there was this place, the Nook, that did there's like a ton of
and they shut down.
Yeah, but now they're they're reopening
with new owners. I'm hosting a mic there.
There we go.
Once a month.
Where are they reopening?
Oh, it's the best.
Well,
same place?
No. Not. Oh wait, the owners from the Nook are opening in a new place.
So then So there was like Sweet Stuff Mike. There were a few nights. It was really queer. Like even the Dow has a good queer mic night. Yeah. The Nook did, and now they're relocating. But there's a lot of like queer. There's a place in Atwater, there's a lot of just like queer friendly spaces now.
That's true.
But you kind of have to like
really seek them out.
Yeah.
I tend to go to the shittier, like the non-safe places.
Just straight dudes.
Just out of yeah, it's rough.
I alienated an entire audience at Flappers by coming in
Have you done
hot.
Flappers?
No.
Good.
Yeah.
No,
I feel like
flappers.
I need to.
We love flappers on this pod.
I feel like I need to,
Keep
but I'm
booking
just
us flappers
for the bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different demographic, and I came in hot by making jokes about my upcoming top surgery.
Congrats.
And thank you. And boy, did that
They loved it.
They loved it.
They're standing ovation.
They just
standing ovation that they actually left. Stood and left.
They were so mystified. I mean, the first thing was they had no idea what I was even referring to. Top surgery. What's the top?
Oh,
what could that possibly be? And when I realized that and I explained it, they were just looking at me like, you're ruining your beautiful feminine body. And it was brutal.
Oh,
Yeah.
Burbank.
Yeah. Oh, Burbank.
Oh, Burbank. So they would love me. I have many jokes about, I'm doing all my consultations right now for my top surgery.
Ooh.
So maybe I'll ask you.
Who are you talking to?
My next one is with, what's his name? Dr. Raye, Edward Raye.
Yeah.
Cedars.
At Cedars.
That's the next one. I have a few. One though, a friend of me just recommended someone in San Francisco, and I'm like,
The Gender Confirmation Center.
Maybe.
Mosser.
There's someone amazing up there.
Yeah.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Where are you doing it here?
I'm debating between Raye and Mosser.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay, so this is so I haven't Mosser. A friend of mine just last week was like, ooh, I went up to San Francisco because there's this one person who's the best of the best.
Yeah.
And I went, okay, maybe I'll go up there.
Oh my God, this is so exciting for you.
I'm
Mazel too. Okay, we've got to talk.
I'm so
talk
happy
all
right now.
thing tit
Tops.
removal.
Yes.
It's
I want these
so
gone.
exciting. Yesterday.
Yes.
My God, they are just a drag.
Yeah. Did you feel like when you made the decision to do it, you were like, I'm like now getting itchy. Like I'm immediately when my brain went, I'm doing it. I was like, now I just feel.
As soon as you realize you're allowed, it's like, get them out. Like,
yeah,
it's so, they're even more uncomfortable. You know what I saw recently? Across my TikTok came a video of someone who's detransitioning. Like, they're young, probably like 22 or something, FTM. So they're going back to to F. And she was just talking about how she was not pressured into it, but how she felt like it was like a TikTok trend and it was really cool. And so it just all made sense to do like the cool thing. And it really threw me for a loop because I realized I was non-binary and wanted top surgery. I articulated that because I saw some Gen Zs on TikTok who looked like me who were doing it. And I was like, wow, this is loud, mind blown. And I was like, oh my God, is this a trend? Have I been influenced?
For the trend.
And I spent 3 weeks watching all the detransition videos I could find, being like,
just to double check yourself?
Yeah, to double check.
Yeah.
To double check.
Yeah.
I came out of it being like, no, yeah.
Well, there you go.
I think that I know what I want. I'm not a 19-year-old.
Yeah,
you know?
It's different when you're doing it now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How was that decision for you?
Yeah.
I just like as soon as I think for so long, I think I'm just worried about, especially like even in this industry, I'm just always worried about the optics and what people think, and I don't want people to feel like I think I have internalized homophobia about in and about myself. So there's so many things to unpack, even though I'm from a very liberal place. I think I'm scared of it because I'm projecting like, oh, people are not going to hire me or like me. And it's like it's so like just none of it's true. And then when I've like gone to therapy, I've done so much work on it. I've been so accepting of myself more and more. And I'm like, oh no, I'm happier. I'm kinder. I'm just everything about this is better. So that's what people are getting. So I'm like just way happy. And I've never been so sure about anything in my life.
Wow.
Anything. I'm just like, yep, this is.
Yeah. I try to explain to people in my life who are like very skeptical about it. I'm like, do you understand how much work that shit is? Like, it's so painful.
Oh, yeah.
So much recovery. So much, like, shit that you just don't want to deal with. Like, you have to really want it. Yep. You know what I mean? It's like, that's hard to go through so much surgery for a TikTok trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like putting up and like doing a little dance. It's like, it's like it's hard and it's expensive and it's recovery and it's like you're only doing it if that's what's gonna make you.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like,
that's what we do on the Yenta podcast.
That's it.
We do it. We make you.
We make
you are
new
a
tagline.
Yenta.
We make you a Yenta, and
we
also we cut off your tits in the process, as all Yentas do. Yeah, it's been something that I'm like thinking about, but I can't even. I'm not. One day I'll think about it more deeper.
I did that I feel like I like just marinated on it for so long and I really, And then all this is what happens with me. I think about things for a long, long time. And then one day I just go, okay. And then the decision's made. Like
that's it.
Yeah. I stare at the light switch for like years. And then one day I just turn it on. I go, oh, right. There it is.
Yeah.
But
that's so real.
Wouldn't it be great if you could just flick your tits off like that?
Oh,
I've thought about it.
Oh, man.
My God.
I just want it.
I wish. I want to talk about a scene from the movie.
Yes.
If you're cool with that. Which is
I'll
like
talk about
one of my favorites. The scene, the classroom scene, where all the kids are like, why does God do bad things to good people?
Oh, my God.
Yep.
And Sarah Sherman's just so beautiful. She's like, God is random. God is just I'm like, that is so, like, that summation of, like, I feel like that's been a struggle for me my whole life. Like, why does God do bad things to good people and, like, for my family? And just, like, have it all be summed up in a song, God is RandomSauce. Mwah.
I'm so glad you appreciate it. It's slightly divisive.
Okay.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
And again, I'll say the movie is not representing every Jewish experience.
Right.
No way.
It can't.
It can't.
Right. There's a million.
It would be
Three Jews, a million
movie
opinions.
could represent all the Jewish experiences.
No, like we had to hone in on, one experience and that was it. Yeah. But I think like what I do, like I had rabbis and cantors and like there is like in that scene, there's a lot of levity to it. And there's like this very warm, like, she's goofy and that's her character. And Sarah brings so much of that because Sarah's just the best.
She's amazing.
Unbelievable.
She's so funny.
Oh my God.
How did she get attached to that? If we can.
I mean, the real story is I was at the house with Adam and Sunny and we were talking about people we love. And we had been talking about like the rabbi was initially written as Rabbi Josh. It was a male rabbi. And I was like, I feel like, I think I said this to Adam early on and he was like, oh yeah. I was like, I really like a female or queer. So we were thinking about like who that could be.
In 2023, there's not a cis male rabbi in sight.
So I was like, maybe we make him gay or like a female rabbi. And it was funny because they have a female queer rabbi. I grew up with, we went to a couple different, but one of them was a female rabbi and I loved that as a kid. So anyway, we were talking about people we love and Sunny's like, oh, I love, we were talking about SNL and she's like, Sarah Sherman. And I was like, oh, Sarah's so funny. Oh my God, she would be, and Adam's like, she'd be great. And we were like, she'd be great. And so that's kind of how it happened. We reached out and she was like, yes, I want to do this.
Yeah. I love that inside look on how some casting goes down.
It was this movie in particular, like working with Adam, and it's funny, like even Sunny and Sadie, his daughters, Jordy, who's our amazing costume designer, we talked to the girls, the kids. We were like, hey, what are you guys really wearing? There's like a lot of stuff that like just came from like talking to. It's like a kind of a very Jewish family affair where we all would sit down and just shoot the shit, and then there's a lot that there's just a lot of truth that comes out of that.
Yeah.
I love it. Kind of reminds me of not all in the same way, but like Apatow and Friends, like how he just like, I'm hanging out with my buddies and now it's in a movie.
Very much,
which is kind of like my ideal movie.
I feel like we all want to make stuff. That's what's so funny. We've talked about this a lot recently with Adam, about Adam in particular, because he's made a career out of working with his friends.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 10 years ago. I was living in my mom's garage starting this YouTube channel with one of my best friends still to this day. And she's a director too. And I'm like, we all want to make stuff with our friends.
Yes. Yeah. And
It's
that's
the
when
dream.
people are like, oh, you're being like nepotist.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
Nepotist.
You're being nepotist. You are nepotist. I'm just like, I get it. Like
everyone wants to just nepotize their friends in.
Yeah.
I guess like the best case scenario is that you get a crew that feels like a group of old friends and family, even if they're not necessarily, so that you can get from diverse areas. But that's so hard because you're not old friends and family.
Yeah.
I think I interrupted a different story that you were saying in the beautiful Jewy terrible
now
way.
I forget where we're talking about.
The classroom scene.
Oh yeah. God is random sauce.
Yeah, God is random sauce.
God is random sauce.
That needs to be like on a pillow. That it just
we should make bat mitzvah merch.
Yes.
I am hopeful that we will.
Oh my God, yes. And then
right
kids will have it at their bat mitzvahs.
Yes. Also, I want to keep with Misfits, Grateful Dead. Like,
that was so epic.
Yes.
There's an you don't even see them all, but we had so many different like she had her collection of
my God.
And there's so many different bands now. I'm trying to remember all of them, but it was so good. But we need to make the bat mitzvahs merch swag.
Are you gonna wear yarmulke to services this year?
Oh, hot question.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. I went to I was at a funeral service for a couple months ago, and I put one on.
How did it feel?
It made me so happy.
Oh wow!
It made me so, and I'm gonna be very transparent. I also say I did have one moment of, is anyone looking at me weird?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was for a family member, but like it was a lot of other people I didn't know from another side of the family.
You were at what kind of shul?
It was Reform. It was not like Orthodox by any, but I still was like, is anyone looking at me weird? Is this because I was, outside of me, I was the only me there, if that makes sense. But then I immediately was like, this feels so nice. I love this. And my sister was there, and I forget what she said, but she loved it too. She was like, this is correct. And I went, yeah, it is. It was nice.
You little Jewish scholar. Oh my God. I'm getting emotional imagining you.
Yeah, you do look like
with your little yarmulke.
And
so beautiful.
And I'm like, I got one from there, and I was like, I should just have my own. I want to get my own.
Funny, I'm getting so emotional because I think that yarmulkes look really stupid on everybody.
Well, I want to look stupid too.
I would wear one, except that every time I see one on anybody, especially with longer hair, I'm like, ugh.
I was going to ask you though, have you ever worn one, or would you want to?
No, because my need for fashion trumps my need for personal expression and self-actualization.
I also understand.
So.
Well, you can get a really cool fashionable kippah. You can
get
like one of those cute little rainbow ones.
I think the shape is the problem. See, I would happily be one of those people who wears just a hat, instead.
Right. Oh, like a baseball hat.
A baseball hat or a big hat or whatever hat.
Yeah. And that would be according to halacha Jewish law equally as good as wearing a
is it?
yarmulke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
there you
can go the hat route.
You could go the hat route.
Cool cowboy
But you can get on Etsy and get a real cool personalized.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
Is that where you got the kippahs from the movie?
Yeah. We had them made. I forget. I wish I could plug the Etsy shop. Yeah, Jordy is our costume. Jordy's amazing. But we had them made. Jordy is our costume designer, and had all them made. I did steal one. It's framed in my house.
Oh, I love that. What else did you take from the movie?
I took two of the kippahs. I didn't take much. I took a few things off Crush. I didn't take a ton. I have the King Pun book from Crush.
That was cute.
Oh, that's
that
cute.
I had to keep. It's the best. But no, bat mitzvah I didn't take a ton of things. I have like swag at every bot or bar B'nai Mitzvah. We had actual swag made for Ben's bar mitzvah. So I have a Ben's bar mitzvah T-shirt. I have like some of the swag from the different parties in the movie, which I got a kick out of.
There's so many parties in that movie.
So many.
So much swag.
So many. It feels it's all party.
Yeah. Oh. It's so many parties.
Was your party like that?
it was not that big.
Oh, okay.
It was the basketball one that you said, like the basketball. That was probably comparable, to be honest. That was a little bit more normal.
Were you cool at that age?
No.
What were you like?
I was so deep. Middle school was awful for me.
As opposed to everyone else who loves it.
Who thrived. Everyone else thrived in middle school. We all peaked in 7th grade. Except
for me. Sailed through.
Just an easy, what's the easiest time in life, right? No, I was very shy. After elementary school, when everything felt like it went like so binary, it was like girls hang out with girls, boys hang out with boys. When did you get your period yet? When are you going to get it? Who are you dating? What boy do you like? Like all that freaked me out. And so I kind of retreated into myself. And like I would eat lunch alone. I went to Mr. Protho's class to eat lunch with the other kids that all just sat at their desks and didn't talk. Like the band of misfit kids who didn't want to be out in the pressurized, social. The lawn was so stressful for me.
How much does that inform your choice of movies and projects that you work on?
This movie in particular, I love for multiple reasons. The Jewish thing was the biggest part of it, but I think it's hopefully like doing a service and just like, it's nice to now as adults be like, oh yeah, this was a terrible time and this is hard for everyone.
Yeah.
And being Jewish is a part of the story, but I think it definitely informs and makes me excited to like, kind of as authentically as possible, tell that story. It's a rough time, guys.
Oof.
Middle school's the worst.
So rough.
Brutal.
Yeah. I don't want to go back there.
No. Actually, but it does it's like
maybe it's
trauma
therapeutic.
Bond over it though.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Like we all best hate case scenario is a trauma bond.
Best case. Yeah. I don't know why we there's something about it though. Revisiting it now, like 8th grade. I love that movie, but it's so
great
stressful.
Great movie. Bill Burnham.
13.
I couldn't finish that movie 8th grade.
Oh no.
It's so stressful.
It was so stressful.
I know.
Sammy, what's your dream project? Like anything that you could do?
I wish I could talk about the movie that I want to make now is just everything I want in a movie. And I wish I could say more, but I can't.
Off camera?
Off camera.
Oh, good.
Off camera, cone of silence.
Oh, we'll sign NDAs.
Yeah.
No problem.
I'll whip them up real quick. I think like what I want to do is I do like making movies for queers and Jews, and hopefully those two will come together. And then I kind of just am really wanting to make like stories about people with a marginalized point of view. And like, I think like I like tend to gravitate towards like strong women or, anyone I love men too, but like, non-binary and female stories that are like empowering, but also real and like messy and authentic. I think like, a little bit of bat mitzvah, like what that was. Those, it's messy. It's like not perfect, and they're not perfect human beings, but no one is. And more queer stories.
Queer Jew chaos.
Queer Jew chaos and queer Jew empowerment.
Ooh,
that's kind of
combined.
That's queer Jew empowerment is
probably better than chaos.
Yeah. Action, just a lot of like. Fun. I'm trying to talk about this without talking about it, so it's hard.
I can't wait to see it. I'm sure.
Well, by context clues, I'm pretty sure it's like a non-binary rom-com in the Holocaust.
I cannot wait
to be confirmed
to stop recording so I can confirm or deny.
Blink once.
Hopefully, I can talk about it soon.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
And music. I do love music this is a pivot, but like anything related to musicians and music is also at the top of my list.
How do you feel about Jewish music?
Love.
Any songs that you like?
Oh man. Oh god.
Now
I don't remember
any of them.
Oh.
How Jewy are you? Can you remember any Jewish songs that just come to mind?
When like when they're like being sung, all of a sudden I'll go, oh right, I remember.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I can pull one out. I don't know if I can. I mean,
bom,
Bim,
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 bom. From the movie.
Yeah.
Bim, bim,
And
bim.
Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Hey.
Oh my God, I love that.
Wait, did you
That's
grow up
amazing.
with Bim Bam?
Yeah, I know Bim Bam.
Oh wow, that
Did you?
transcended.
I was gonna say. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's actually a good amount like Karbach songs. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, but we
we
don't typically like reference him.
Oh, okay.
We
But I actually
probably
went to
know a lot of them.
Nefesh. I went to Nefesh last week, and like I knew almost all the songs.
All this.
Not the English ones that they invented, but the Hebrew ones I
Yeah.
did know.
Yeah. When I
Yeah.
go there, they're so. Yeah.
They're great.
My God,
Cash.
So
Jewish
queer.
music, synagogue music. As we know, my favorite gossip topic.
Yeah. Tell us more.
I'm like, which Vishamru are you doing today? Are you doing pirate Vishamru? Vishamru B'nai Israel. Do you know that one?
I think so.
I don't think I do.
Et ha-Shabbat, lasod et ha-Shabbat,
Wow.
le'dor-dam-bari-dolam. Good one.
Yes.
Did you expect this today?
one.
No,
Sammy?
but this it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Welcome to my Jewish singing circle.
I have so many more questions.
Oh my God.
I want to talk about stand-up. Okay, because
Yeah.
we're both stand-ups. How did you start stand-up? What's the part that you're like, oh, I fucking hate this and wish it was better, and what's the part that you love about it?
Great. Okay, so I dated, I was in a very serious long-term relationship,
Yes.
engaged to a stand-up. She's
Ooh.
so funny.
I think I know her,
Yeah.
but we don't have to bring it up.
She's great. We're friends and it's all good.
Okay.
I'll plug Catherine McCafferty.
Oh,
She's
good.
very
Yeah,
funny.
she's great.
She's great. She's so funny.
We did a show together recently, and then she went to Fringe.
Went to Fringe. She had a
yeah,
show there.
Yeah, she's great.
She's a very funny,
Yeah.
lovely person. So she ran a show at the Virgil forever. So like I was always and I have friends like outside of even that. I just had a few really close friends who were doing stand up, and so I was always in that world, but never on stage. And then at one point I was like, this terrifies me. I did it for a couple reasons. One, I was like, I just want to get better at joke writing to book more commercial work. That's just like the boring.
Oh,
You were doing
Like direct commercials.
Okay.
And I was like, I want to just be able to like just sharpen my joke writing, tool belt. So I was like, I want to do that just to be able to punch things up really quickly that minute when I'm in the pitch room.
Yeah.
And I also was kind of terrified. I don't like being in front of cameras,
Oh,
but
you're doing great.
you've got 3 on you right now.
I'm just pretending
Good.
no one's there. I'm
Yeah,
imagining the big screen.
Yeah, no one else
instead of
doesn't
the
exist.
TV.
Well, honestly, this is a tangent,
But-
but that's what I love about the art form of podcast. And yes, I did call it an art form.
It is an art
Absolutely.
form.
Right?
Oh,
It's like
100%.
it's really, it feels like very intimate,
Yeah.
even though.
And that's
Yeah.
why it's nice as a consumer too, because it's
Yeah.
like the art form that feels closest to just being friends with someone.
Yeah.
You're just listening to their little
How we
conversations.
schmooze.
But it is
How we
very
schmooze.
intimate.
Yeah.
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 I love to schmooze. Let's
Yeah.
put it.
You're a
record it.
schmoozer.
We're
I lo-
schmoozing in front of cameras.
It's in our blood. We schmooze.
Yeah.
But stand up. So I also was like terrified to do it. As a director, I often I'll dip into acting classes. I try to do things that put me in the position of like being the vulnerable person, because actors are they're definitely in the most vulnerable position. They're doing a ton of work. And so I'm like, yeah, I want to feel that
Yeah.
just to like I do empathize, and I love actors, but I try to like experience what they're experiencing. So I did it for that. And then as soon as I started doing it, I was like, oh, I like this a lot. It's fun. It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
And the part that's hard is I think we all know this, like mics and a bunch of straight dudes who are going up before or after me,
Yeah.
and
In a
calling
dark
things-
room.
And just
We used
hate
to
you.
host a
Terrible.
mic together.
Yeah, we did.
And Antonia was like, I can't do this.
I bailed after 2 mics. I was like, I can't
Yeah.
for my sanity be around this many mics.
Yeah. It's hard.
That
but
part's hard.
But you started miking, even though, I don't know, I feel like you could have skipped that part if you wanted to.
I don't know if no, I feel like I need it just to practice. I'm still so now I've done it a little bit more, but I think just the nerves alone, I was like, I'll shake in this little room with 5 people, but if I'm getting shaking,
Yeah.
I'm just imagining a little chihuahua up there.
that's basically what I looked
Sammy.
like. though. They called me Chihuahua.
Energy.
No, they called me Chihuahua.
That was your stage name.
That is. It was. Yeah, I think to get the nerves out, and it helps. But it's been fun. And and now I've kind of like, we were starting to talk about it. I think I have found like a loving, supportive, like queer pocket of stand-up that I think didn't really exist. Because I think if I had started doing this 10 years ago, different story. Mm-hmm. This is a better time for stand-up. So admittedly, I'm coming into this space in a different part, like in a specific part of the country. I have not done stand-up outside of LA.
You're not touring?
No. That's the one thing I think and I might be wrong because I know plenty of queer stand-ups who are tour and are doing, but I'm scared too. I'm like, where can I go that's safe? So we had Rachel Scanlon on this podcast. Shout out Rachel. Yes. Because they're on tour.
They're on tour.
In like Idaho.
Yes.
And I'm like, are you okay?
Literally. I asked her, I was like, how are you doing it? She's just like, they have some touring agent that books the venues for them based on, I guess, who's like filling out their Instagram form. And they're getting tons of queer people going out and like in random ass towns.
That's cool.
And I think that is kind of like a misconception that we have on the coast. Like queers just don't exist, or queer community doesn't exist everywhere else. Mm-hmm. But I was like in Alabama at one point, and there's like gay bars in like Montgomery, Alabama. Like, why not?
That's amazing. I think part of me is like, I know there's queer people. I mean, I know there's like the queer community anywhere you go. This is like my misconception though, and this gives me hope because I'm like, but are people gonna come out to a place where we're all gathered?
Where we're all visible.
Where we're all visible and here, like,
Jewish.
I know it's dark in here.
Gonna happen.
We're gonna put our names on the list.
They're my name's on a piece of paper.
Right, queers and Jews have that similar. Like everyone's gonna get us for a good reason. It's not like coming out of nowhere.
I was talking to a rabbi who's gay, and at one point he described it. He was like queer Jews are the touchiest people in the world because to them, everyone is a Cossack.
Everyone's about to start a pogrom.
Yeah, you know what a Cossack is? They were the soldiers in Eastern Europe who were really anti-Semitic, who led a lot of pogroms.
Like killed a lot of Jews.
Yep.
Like violent rampages against Jews. That would work like everyone is a Nazi, but Cossack is like so specific, that it and it's such like a random ass word that you just don't see coming.
I know.
We're always on guard.
We are, and it makes sense. But it's also exhausting, Sammy. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired of always being on guard. I
don't want to be on guard.
I know. I'm like, I'm dropping it. But anyway, I was just on, I did like a little mini tour in Salt Lake City and in Denver. And I would say they got my queer jokes more than my Jewish jokes. Like, they were more in for the queer stuff. It was harder to be Jewish out there.
See, and maybe, like, what do we think? Is it harder to be, if you go across the United States, harder to be Jewish, harder to be queer?
Queer.
Jewish.
I've been Jewish in tiny towns all the time. I've spent like a ton of time with evangelicals.
Evangelicals love Jews, though.
They love
because they think that when the Messiah comes, all the Jews will. I don't
Currently,
know.
American
crazy thing there.
Evangelism idolizes Jews, and so that's why it's easier to be a Jew than a queer person these days, I think.
So what do you think, Sammy?
I would say harder to be a Jew, but now I'm sort of going, I kind of see your point, so maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I just feel like there's way more queer exposure everywhere. Like, most people, even if they hate queers, they kind of know them, or like they've seen one around. Jews in the middle of the country, they've never met or talked to a single Jew in their whole life.
I was living in this tiny town in North Carolina, and I met some people at the church, and said that I was Jewish, and they were like, "Oh, you've got to meet the other Jew in town." And I was like, "Oh my God.
Other Jew in town."
I was like, "There's a Jew in town."
There you go.
And I met him, and he was a Torah observant follower of Yeshua,
like a Jews for Jesus.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
He was a Christian guy who was like just in Jewish drag because he
Jewish
was like,
drag.
Jesus would do it like this.
Yeah.
That was their version of Jew. No, but truly, like, from having spent a lot of time in small town America, it's so much easier to be a Jew. than to be a queer person.
I haven't done it.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. You're on the ground. You're
fighting it out.
doing the work
from
for us.
the towns I've been in.
Oh my gosh. I hope that we can just, maybe it doesn't have to be a fight. Is it worse to be Jewish or queer? Maybe it's just.
Yeah. I think my hope is that it gets easier to be both.
Amen.
That's what I.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. I think yeah.
Sammi, do you have any things to Yenta with us about?
Oh yeah. Are we doing
we didn't really do
our
secrets. We can.
Ooh,
if we have.
I'm trying to think.
If we have.
Did you bring a secret?
Yenta.
Did we tell you to bring a secret?
No, but
But we can come up with them on the spot.
Yeah.
Hot goss.
Yes, our hot goss
Some
for our listeners, because that's what they're here for.
Give me like a topic. Give me some direction.
Okay, listen. We want it to be about dating, sex.
Yes.
Juicy friendship drama.
Who's your mother trying to set you up with?
My mom is not trying to set me up with anyone. Thank God.
Good.
Thank God.
No, my mom
will set you up with somebody.
Yeah, I am.
Oh yeah, what are you
newly
looking
single.
for? Yeah, what are you looking for? What are you looking for in a partner, Sammi?
I just got very much dumped.
Oh,
recently.
Wait, not by Catherine.
No.
Okay, someone else.
Someone else.
Do you wanna? Can we schmooze about it?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Ooh, tell
schmooze
us
about it.
Tell us. Okay, how did you meet? What happened?
So, the really quick series of events is my engagement ended.
Okay.
Oh, it ended when you were engaged.
Yes.
Oof.
I went to New York to do this movie, Crush.
Yes.
I came home, and right before Crush ended and Bat Mitzvah started. Anyway, the engagement ended. I was like, okay. She moved to New York, and I was on my own. And then a few months later, because I'm a serial monogamist, admittedly, I reconnected with an old friend, acquaintance. She's great. I was like, this will be fun. We were casually dating, and then a year and a half later, off and on. It was off and on. It was. I should not have started dating that quickly. It's on me.
Right after the engagement.
Yeah.
Wait, how did you know this old friend?
So here's, I guess, goss. So before, when I was with my ex and she was with her ex, we all had mutual friends.
Ooh.
And we were all at a barbecue together.
So lesbian.
It's so gay.
Surprise.
We were all at a mutual friend's house. There was a barbecue. She was with her ex, and they were all serious and happy and in love.
Everyone was scoping out their future partners.
Basically. And no one thought anything of it. Anyway, she ended her thing with her ex at the same time that my thing ended. And then we were at Gay Astrology.
Yes.
I wish I'm not even making this up.
I love
We were at Gay Astrology, and then
wait, which venue?
At the one that was downtown.
Okay, not the new one.
Not the new one.
Yeah.
The downtown. And
I love that.
And
shout out to Gay Astrology.
We love you, Gay Astrology. We love all the queer events in LA.
Yeah. It's really just Gay Astrology and everything that Anna Goodman does.
Yep.
Right?
We love Anna Goodman.
I feel like those are the only options.
Line dancing.
I'm going
Good
tomorrow.
point.
Are you?
Yeah.
Have you learned the line dances?
I learned a couple
Stud
2
country.
weeks ago. Stud Country. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll see you guys there.
Okay.
It's so lovely. It's
Yeah.
so fun, and you don't have to know. I was line dancing in my Air Force Ones. It's super
it's
casual.
chill. Okay. The line dancing does terrify me.
Yeah, I was
You
like,
also can just go and hang
And just schmooze.
and schmooze.
I'm good at that. I'll do that one.
If you want to just go schmooze, I'll go schmooze.
Okay, great.
So we were all at this barbecue, and then Gay Astrology. We hung out, and then I asked her to go to dinner.
Ooh.
And we had a little cute flirty night, and then we went to dinner, and then we just kept hanging out, and then started dating, and then I left to go to Toronto for 4 months.
For Bat Mitzvah.
For Bat Mitzvah.
Yeah.
And then I came back, and we sort of broke up, and then got back together. It was an off and on thing for a year and a half.
oof.
And then.
So when you say old friend, you mean friend of your ex?
No,
Or
we were all friendly and acquainted.
Yes.
I also actually, I had cast her in a sketch.
Oh.
She's an actor and now is and very recently, 6 months ago she also started stand up.
cute.
Because of me.
God.
She took this class.
You're going to have a show one day
with both of them.
where the whole lineup
is just exes.
It's going to be called Sammy's Exes, and it's going to be mine.
What a great concept.
Would love to see that show.
Yeah.
I've already, so we were off and on this ex of mine, and she did her showcase. Wow, I'm really just calling her out. She just reamed, half the set was just reaming me.
No.
And I was like, am I a bad person? And I was like, no, this is just a joke.
It was for the bit.
And
wild.
she knew you were there?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh
She did.
That's brave.
To her credit, she was like, are you okay with this? And I went, yeah, it's totally fine. It's your art. Do it. I would never censor someone. It's like also just, it's part of what you do.
You get it. Yeah.
But it was.
I need to date someone like that gets it. You know, like
you have.
Yeah. Because I've dated people that don't get it, like that think that when I make jokes about them, it's like insulting them or you know, like they take it personally or whatever, and it's like I can't.
I think people don't realize that so much of what stand-ups say are lies.
Yeah.
Like
so
everything.
No, I don't think I say is true.
I don't like that. I like people who are really true up there, but a lot of stand-ups make stuff up.
Yeah.
Or just exaggerated to like a crazy degree.
Yeah.
My stuff is a little bit more. I have not written any jokes about the people I date yet. Maybe like one or two, but yeah, mostly it's just about me and top surgery and all that nonsense.
You have top surgery bits?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, let's trade top surgery bits.
I do want to get into a whole.
We'll do a top surgery show before both of your top surgeries.
And it starts with people pre-top surgery, and the show ends with people who are post-top surgery in order of how many months it's been, so we get to see
the progression.
Everyone talks about scar care.
That's what it's called, scar care.
Yeah, no, like literal like caring for your scars.
I can't wait to be into my scar care jokes.
Oh my God, same.
I cannot get there quickly enough.
Yeah.
I'm working on a whole bit about how I haven't told my mom because it's going to go terribly.
Yeah.
You know, your beautiful body.
Did you tell your mom?
I did very recently. I told her like 4 months ago, maybe.
Yeah. How did it go?
Her and my sisters. My sisters are cool with everything. They're just like, great.
Chill.
Yeah, great. Makes sense. My mom was okay with it. I prefaced it with, I've thought a lot about this. Totally okay if you have questions, but I've thought about this for a long time. I'm 100% sure about this.
Oh, that's good.
And I want you to know that going in. I also like, you can feel your feelings, but like, I don't really want to talk about it. I just want to let you know I'm going to get top surgery. I definitely decided. And she just was like, okay. And then in perfect Lori fashion, she like changed the subject and moved on to something she was worried about.
Huh.
Unrelated.
Oh, perfect.
Good.
She just like, I forget what it was. It was something.
It's too cold.
Yeah.
Too cold in here.
Yeah.
You know, there's flesh-eating amoebas in freshwater lakes.
Yeah. You know, oysters, they have parasites. I know.
That's great. That's also like probably helpful for some people. Like, how do you tell your mom that? Just be like,
it's a good
or
way
your
to
parents.
structure that.
Yeah.
To say that you've thought about it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this.
And you're doing it.
Yeah.
But you're happy to answer questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, and I'm really excited about this. I thought a lot about it. This is really important to me. And I just want to share this with you. Because it's going to be also like a big recovery.
Yeah.
And all that. Because I also talked to them. I was like, when I do it, you know, I'm not with a partner. It's like that part is intimidating, just the recovery.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of like bracing myself and trying to figure out when to do. It's hard. It's a lot of, like you said, it's so much work. No, like, of course, it's just so much work.
Yeah. I'm just like not doing it out of laziness. Like it's like
I get it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of money. It's money and time and like
too many other things on my plate.
Yeah.
Anyway, I interrupted your story. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. I'm like it's gonna go terribly, but I know at some point my mom is gonna figure out that she can leverage my top surgery for speeches at synagogue by being like, on this transgender day of remembrance, I have a personal connection.
Yep.
Lead with that.
Yeah, it's like once
you
she
can make
figures
this
out
about
she
you,
can milk the
yeah.
once she figures out she can make it about herself,
then she's in.
She's gonna love it.
You can just preface with it, Mom, I know you're going to want to talk about this in the future. I know this is going to be a really big thing for both of us. And I've decided to do this for us.
I know you're going to write a lot of newsletters about this.
Of course. Anytime a Jewish parent can make it their own and bring it to lunch, brunch, temple, and they love they're
it.
on board.
And when they can brag, when she can go, you know, she went to the best surgeon for this.
Oh, if they can brag about a doctor, anyone with a PhD, yes, the best.
Their scars, gone. It's incredible.
The workmanship they had.
It's amazing.
What school did he go to? Harvard?
Harvard, of course.
Oh, he's a Jew
and
from Harvard?
even the nurses went to Harvard.
Even the
Very
anesthesiologist. You actually know him. He went to shul with your cousin.
Yes.
And he's single, I think.
Are you hungry? Eat more food. And then it's just back to
That's wow. That's how to solve it. That's how to solve telling your mom.
Yeah. And when you're recovering, she gets to take care of you. She
That's
gets
the
to
other
be
part.
Needed.
Yeah. They just want to be needed. I already prefaced that. I said, if anyone, we have a family text chain. I said, I'm going to try to, do the surgery between these months. Just putting that out there. And I'm going to need, if you're willing, if anyone wants to stop by, a mom, an opportunity to bring food and take care of you.
To be needed.
You're doing it for her, really.
Yeah, you're
welcome. Doing her a favor.
You're welcome, Mom.
You're welcome. All of this is for them.
It's for them.
Yes.
We do it for them.
Okay, wait. I interrupted you with. I'm sorry. With the your relationship story. You.
Oh.
Yes. We never finished that.
Yes. So we started dating. And we dated off and on.
Yes.
Yeah. And why did you break up?
Good cue. Oh, good Yenta cue.
Always yenting.
Look, I'm going to take all the responsibility publicly.
Wow. But privately.
But off the record.
But
we're
code of silence.
The truth is, I wasn't ready. I hadn't processed an engagement and the relationship. I thought that was it. I didn't process it. I was working, and then I kind of ended up right in this new relationship. So I was processing the old relationship and a lot of feelings and a lot of that while in this new relationship, which is kind of unfair to that person. And I think it made its way into our dynamic, and then there was some jealousy. And
on your end?
No. She didn't love that I was with Catherine trying to be friends. I was like, we're friends. This is great. And this is this new kind of iteration of our relationship, but she did not love that.
Yeah.
Which
do you do monogamy, or are you open never? Okay.
Yeah, and also I was a little bit hesitant to commit. I wasn't it's not like I was dating anyone else, but I was a little bit hesitant to fully commit to this new relationship. I think because I was still unearthing all of this old stuff, so I wasn't fully committing. I loved her. She's a lovely person. But she kind of just I think just got tired of my shit. And she was either commit or I got to get out of here. Yeah. And I was I totally get it. But I don't know. I did I think on paper I was I did everything she asked. I tried to show up. I tried to but ultimately she was
okay.
Just
so what are you looking for in a new partner?
In a new partner?
In case any listeners are
your Bashert is watching,
we should slide into their DMs.
I'm terrible at social media, so don't do that.
Okay, don't do that.
Yeah. I am the worst.
They won't check their DMs.
Yeah. I am the worst.
Slide into our DMs.
Yeah.
And we'll send them along.
No,
there we go.
We'll do a screening first, and if they match your criteria, we can think about organizing a shidduch.
Listeners,
there we go.
A match.
Listeners, if you truly did this, that would be the greatest thing to happen in our lives. So send in your pitches.
I love this. This feels
So what are you looking for?
This is so cheesy and so gay. I just like a good heart. I like a good-hearted person. Doing what you love. You don't need to be I don't need someone who's rich. I just want someone who's successful but to me, success is doing what you love and finding joy in it. So someone who's creative, fun, loves dogs. I have a dog.
Ooh, big.
Scoop.
I love my Scoop. and someone who's kind of okay with like being a director. I'm like in and out of LA all the time. Like I am a workaholic. So that's also hard. Someone who like gets it and is cool and
maybe he's also a little bit of a workaholic.
Yeah.
So that you can kind of do your independent things and also come back together.
Yeah, but also I'll fly you wherever I'll fly you to wherever I am.
Oh,
I just need you to be on board.
Right. If they are like
you
remote.
will be flown.
Yeah.
Well,
VIP.
Yeah. I'm really
directors +1.
Yeah.
In the jet.
But if you want to bop around the world a little bit, great. Because that's kind of just how it goes.
A little bop.
A cute little bop.
Yeah. I don't know. That's someone who's like, and
Jewish?
also someone who's I would love but don't need. I've only dated my last few girlfriends have been not Jewish. Not at all, but not a problem. But also someone who's like cares about family.
Yeah.
Well, you're
chosen
you're
otherwise.
To 10,000 queer Jews right now. I'm manifesting
all
those numbers.
Do that. That leads into my secret a little bit.
Yeah.
My Yenta a little bit, which is that I recently ended a situationship because she wasn't Jewish. And I felt a lot of guilt about that, to be honest. But then I spoke about it with my therapist because I was like, I don't want it to be because she's not, because it doesn't feel right. And I would love to hear your opinions on this. Like, there's something about it that doesn't feel right, but there's also a part of me that's like, I know I'm so Jewy and I want that in my life. I want that in my family. And like, yes, it would be great if someone like, wanted to do it, but it's just not the same as like them doing it for me versus like doing it for yourself and then joining together.
I see
What I mean?
Yeah.
The whole difference between being obligated and choosing to do Judaism.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then like I would have to do a lot of teaching probably, and not that I mind that, but I don't know. There's just something nice, like when I have gone on dates with Jews who just get it.
Yeah.
Like even in this conversation, like you just get it, and that's just so refreshing.
The unspoken.
And we come from such different denominations of
Right.
Judaism too, but there is a shared experience still.
Yeah, but
True.
I did still feel a lot of shame about it, and I felt shame telling her too, because I was like,
I was
going to
ask,
did
you say that to her?
Yeah. I didn't say it outright, like, oh, because you're not Jewish. I was just like, listen, the Judaism thing is really important to me.
Yeah.
And she immediately was like, I'll convert. I'm like,
wow,
that feels like a lot. Not that
I
it
have
was
a completely different but similar reaction
okay.
to something in my last one. Immediately being like, I'll convert. I'd be like, well, it's a little.
Yeah.
This last person I dated, when we both started dating, we were both like I was like, I don't know about marriage and all that stuff. And then at one point I was like, you know what? I think I really do want to get married and have a family in whatever way, shape, or form. And then all of a sudden she was like, me too. And I went, but
it's too fast.
are you doing that? Because it's
a big decision.
Are they just a people pleaser who can't help but agree with you?
It made me a little nervous, and I never got over it.
And then you broke up.
But way later. But it was in the back of my mind. I kept going, does she just want to do this? Because feels like a big pivot. Yeah. I have known her for so long. But so wait, how did it go? Because I cut you off. You told her.
She was upset.
Yeah.
Understandably. And that's why I felt so much guilt about it. And I still do. I still really do.
That's
I know.
I will say though, there's a lot of integrity in just like being on, like, even if you can feel bad about, like, there's nothing. I think when you're honest with someone, that is the kindest thing you can do for them.
Yeah.
And even if it feels bad in the moment, like it's ultimately the best.
100%. I mean, I didn't have to tell her the Jewish thing, but like I could have just been like, oh, I'm not feeling it. I don't know if that's better though, because at least she knows that it's not something that she could, like, there's something
right.
I don't know. It's all shit. I
think it'll feel bad, like, if because it's clear that she was really into it and really like wanted to.
And I was too, which I hope she doesn't listen to this, but if she does.
But maybe I'm wrong. I almost feel like that's if I was in that position, it would still suck, I'm sure, if I really liked the person, but I'd be like, okay, well, yeah, that's not like, I'm not a bad person.
The blow, yeah.
I think it does soften the blow a little.
Okay.
That would be my takeaway.
Unless it turns her into a Nazi.
Yeah, if you just created
she
a Nazi.
She does have blonde hair.
In
so
that case.
If you tell me she has blue eyes, I'm walking out of
You should have just gone into this saying, I'm an Episcopalian.
Yup, that's me.
But I also, I think the dating Jewish thing is, I think it's totally legit.
Yeah.
And we're not the only culture that likes to date within our culture.
It just feels so not woke.
Yeah.
Because it kind of isn't. But that's
it's not.
We're all living in these contradictions or in these like different parts of ourselves in our lives, and that's something I tell myself every day, but I don't know if I truly believe.
It also though, it's like I think there's being Jewish. I think being Jewish is also having like certain like a mindset and some values and like not right or I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong, but it's also indicative of that. It's like easy to say like it's just because you're not Jewish, but it also there's so much more to it.
Yeah.
So it's just like an alignment of certain things, and I think it's okay.
Woo! Stamp of approval from Sammi Cohen.
I think
leader of the Jews.
I think it's okay.
Leader of the
Jews.
I think you kind of are now.
I can't take that responsibility on alone. I think if collectively we are the leader of the Jews,
okay.
I feel much more
a tribunal.
Yeah, we can handle the power.
It's like the Beit Din.
It's like the Beit Din. We're the new Beit Din.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Beit Din was like the old
House
judicial.
of judgment.
Yeah, it was like when the Jews, I guess, ran their own government, like in ancient Gemara, like Talmudic times.
Okay.
Their leaders were like 3 rabbis, and they would kind of just like make all the decisions. And that's kind of us.
Are we all going to become rabbis?
Holy shit. Wait. Oh my God. This was a question we were talking about before. Being a queer Jew, being a Jew in the arts, especially the stand-up arts.
Yep.
How many times have you thought about going to rabbinical school?
A few.
Yeah.
A few.
Yep.
Because I'm like, yeah.
Duh.
I don't think you can't not.
Exactly.
Like, or it's, yeah. Just like, well,
yeah,
just
it has to be on your mind. It's like not even
100%.
When you're doing stand-up, you're literally,
and I'll say vice versa. I've spoken to a few rabbis who are like, I thought about being a comedian.
Yep,
that makes so
many
much
times.
Sense. Some of them are.
Yeah,
they don't even know it, and they are.
Yes. It's in the
it's
energy.
It's wonderful.
I've seen better stand-up sets. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Actual than at Flappers.
Sorry,
Flappers.
Sorry, Flappers.
I love that.
But book us.
The
Flappers.
Synagogue versus Flappers lineup.
Oh my God! And then when you go, so my gig is performing at synagogues. I literally tour.
Do you really?
Synagogues.
It's amazing.
Doing stand-up.
Yeah. All over the U.S.
That's my job.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
And Sammi, there's money.
There's money in it.
Which is not surprising, I guess.
Makes so much sense. Wait, tell me more about this.
Well, the intersection of rabbi and comedian is very intense when you're a comedian walking onto a rabbi's turf because they get very territorial. They're like, are you going to talk about the Parsha this week? Because I have some bits prepared for tomorrow. And I just want to make sure.
There's no overlap.
Don't
do the same crowd work I'm going to do. Don't talk. That's so
and then
great.
after your set, they're like, that was good. I could do that.
I'm sure there's so much. I can do that.
That's so funny.
Oh my God, that's so perfect.
It's great. And now, and she just has like so many people booking her all over. It's really
you just
like
goes
all around the US.
and just bop around and do
bop baby.
Shabbos bop.
I don't know, I'm saying bop so much today.
Yeah, and I'll go out, a synagogue in Chicago will fly me out and I'll do a show there and maybe stick around for Shabbos. And
there's like singing
come
in
back.
the show.
Yeah, and in my current
How
show,
long are
I
your
make
sets
everyone
when you
sing.
do that?
An hour.
This is amazing. Wait, you sing as a part of?
Yeah.
Music. Yeah. You have some musical comedy.
No.
Just singing.
It is incredibly earnest.
It's like spiritual
singing. Because
it's an experience.
This current hour is about why I came back to Judaism, and the entire reason is the singing. And so I'm like, you guys have to experience it. and I need
to see this.
Yeah, we should do it in LA, or you should do it in LA.
I'm gonna do Temple Isaiah in March for Purim, but
I love that.
That's not for a while.
Oh, that's a good question. What's your favorite Jewish holiday?
Ooh.
I mean, I weirdly like Passover. Hanukkah, though, because we do like an extended Hanukkah.
That's the most reform answer.
Yeah. I knew I was walking into that door, but I'm like, I'm just
Why is that the reform answer?
Because Reform Jews have bought into the Christian PR that Hanukkah is a major Jewish holiday.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to feel like bigots pushing their big holiday at that time of year and not leaving room for other people. And so Christians have artificially elevated Hanukkah to major holiday status. And most Reform Jews, I had no idea growing up that Hanukkah was not the biggest holiday of the year.
Oh, no. Growing up,
thought it was.
It was treated as that and like Passover is a close second.
And Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur did not feel that special. They felt obligatory.
Yes, I agree.
This was the punishment of the year. We get Hanukkah, and then so we suffer through Rosh Hashanah.
But weirdly now I like I'm looking for I was gonna have
whatever we do.
Unrelated to this potential, I'll just say it, drug experience I was going to have.
Oh, yes.
I probably won't end up doing that. But now I look forward to it in a different way. Because I'm like, oh, this is just like time of, reflecting. And as an adult Jew in therapy, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of value in this.
Oh,
It's like a quieter.
100%.
Yeah.
Getting together in groups to sing.
Your favorite.
Mean.
Do you have a secret? And then I have a final question that we'll end on and we'll wrap up.
Okay.
Thank you, Sammy, for being here for so long. It's been such a...
I can't even believe it's been
fantastic.
Has it been an hour?
Yeah, a little more, actually.
You really are going to have to come over to the Yenta Shabbaton.
Yes.
Yeah. We have to hang out.
And
we have a lot of things we have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also for your top surgery, keep us in the loop, because I think that there are a lot of people who've gotten top surgery or are going to get top surgery who want to take care of other people going through it.
There is a nice community. Like, I've even had friends reach out. Yeah, you keep in touch too, because we got to do all the doctor research.
I mean,
deep in it.
Choosing doctors, like,
it is.
This is
kind of like a very weird holiday for us. A list of PhDs.
A day where you just pick all your doctors for the year.
We want the best.
And then you say a bracha over each doctor. Your orthopedist.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
On Rosh Hashanah, they are chosen. On Yom Kippur, the copay goes through.
And then you get your bill on Sukkot.
And don't even get me started on the referrals.
This is a good bit.
Okay,
so here's my secret.
Yes, your secret.
Okay. My secret is that my mom is South African, and that's not a secret. And growing up in the suburbs of Boston, Newton, the very Jewish suburbs, I was like, I'm just another white Jewish kid. Like, God, I'm so boring. And so I started telling people that I was born in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And that became part of my shtick through high school until I was like, I can't keep up this charade anymore, because now my fellow 18-year-olds know enough about, geography to ask me relevant questions about South Africa, where at that point I had never even been. And so at some point, I never told anyone I had been lying about this. I just stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
And even to this day, there are people from high school who will be like, you were born in South Africa, right?
Nice.
And I'll go, no.
Why would you think that?
My mom's from there. I spent some time in college there.
Yeah.
I wasn't born. Why would you? No.
That's a good secret.
Just making them feel,
gaslighting them. How could you think that about me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also tying back to like just the things that we do in middle school because we're just uncomfortable and like we want to try to do shit and make just I was born in South Africa.
I was
so
actually
interesting.
born in South Africa.
I did a crazy thing in middle school or early high school in Spanish class. No, it was middle school. Spanish class. If you went on a field trip to any Spanish-speaking country over spring break or winter break and did a report, you'd get a ton of extra credit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And my friend Sarah and I. Also, I used to crash bar mitzvahs.
There's so much fun.
Amazing.
That should be a movie. Secret. Wedding Crashers, but B'nai Mitzvah.
After this, I
crashers?
thought about it.
Oh, my God.
We would crash. And this is the bad part. We would bring a gift, but it would be empty. Because we were like kids and didn't have money. That's the worst thing I've ever done.
Just an empty card?
Or like an empty, like, well,
a box that had nothing in it?
Or a box with nothing in it. It was
so
bad.
No.
It was so bad. Because we were like,
what did we that bring? Kid opening up the
opened
box?
It up.
It is the worst. I'm sorry.
Respect.
It wasn't even like an envelope.
It was either just, I think we did an envelope with a card that was generic and something was written, but nothing was in it. And then I do remember one time just a box and we were like, we didn't have anything to put in it. So we were just like, just wrap the box. It was terrible. I still feel bad to this day. Oh wait, now I lost my train of thought.
You're the thing that you do in middle school. Your Spanish class.
Oh, we couldn't afford to and did not go to Spain, but I photoshopped me and Sarah into a bunch of like tourist photos in Spain, and then we did a whole presentation for our class. No. Some of the kids who were very savvy and knew Photoshop, they were like, and the teacher had no idea. And we got a shit ton of extra credit.
That is baller.
It was
what a move, Sammy.
I cannot believe I did that.
I fully believe that cheating is completely fine if you can pull it off.
Hot
it's
take.
Kind of it is teaching you serious life skills. The problem is if you get caught, you deserve your punishment.
Yes.
You cannot get caught.
You can't fight.
You cannot get caught.
No.
And you can't fight your punishment.
And you cannot fight it.
Caught.
Because I'm not saying cheating is a good thing. It's not teaching you good life skills, but it's teaching you very useful life skills.
Street skills, savvy.
You can pull it off.
Street smarts. Yeah.
Good skill.
Hey, I use that to this day.
Now you're a director. Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you.
Because
middle
of
school Spanish class.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can credit that teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to close on this question. Since it's the new year, the Jewish New Year, what's your intention for, and I kind of am stealing this from the Rabbi at Nefesh this past Shabbos, but she was like, what do you want to leave out of this past year? And what do you want to bring into the next year?
A really good question.
Yeah. It was really neat. And then she was like, turn to your neighbor and talk about it.
I want to leave my anger. And I want to end my concern with what people think. And I think I want to moving forward, I think more so like finding gratitude and focusing on leave what other people think, leave that behind, what I think moving forward, what I believe in moving forward.
Love it.
That's good. I want to leave this year. My health has been awful, and I would like to leave all of that ill health.
I mean,
in this year.
Goodbye.
See you later. You can stay here.
Yeah.
Make yourself comfortable. Make someone else's tummy hurt.
Yeah. You're not coming with you.
It's not coming with me. Not this year. Thank you, Mashiach.
Yeah.
And what I'm taking with me is I've like accomplished so many amazing things this year. I mean, just like getting this show together and really making my career work in these synagogues has been enormous. And I really have not been appreciating it because my health has been so bad. And so what I want to take with me is like the celebration that's overdue for all of these amazing accomplishments. And I'm taking that party with me into this next year.
Yes.
Party.
Oh, that's so good.
We should actually throw a party.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm fun at parties. I'll say it.
You're great at parties.
I love
Am I invited? I'm fun at parties.
You're absolutely invited.
I promise. I'll bring snacks.
What if I was like, you're so not invited to our party?
I would say
that would be annoying.
I'd say,
ooh, that'd be good.
What a great plug, though. I'll take it because that was perfect.
What about you, Raye?
I want to leave like fear out. I want to leave fear and like not trusting myself out behind. I want to go towards just like more of like a presence, which I think also will be connected to a bravery, you know, like a bravery presence in everything I do. And also I want to go more towards a little bit of Jewish spirituality. Like I want to find that I've been, because right now my Jewish connection is very communal and social, which is beautiful. But I'm like, okay, I'm getting older and I'm just at a place where I'm like, I want to connect to something a little bit higher than me and find that in like a non-traumatizing way, if that's possible. In like a super cool chill way. Like find a spirituality that's just good for me.
Yeah.
And inclusive of the kind of person that I am.
Yes.
Yeah. And that we all are. And everyone can find Antonia. Okay, Sammy, I mean, do you want to plug? Usually we're like, do you want to plug anything? Like your movies, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like the major press is doing that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't heard of it,
yeah,
you can watch You're So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah on Netflix now.
Does that feel so good to say?
It does.
Fucking
I
dope.
really love this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my, like I cannot. Yeah, I love it so much.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy. And so, yeah, you can watch that.
And Crush.
And Crush is
on Hulu.
On Hulu. A
Great
sweet
queer
little
film.
queer rom-com.
Yeah.
Great cast.
Yeah.
They're all so cute.
They're so cute.
I know.
Also, like, hard to pull off a story about a queer girl falling in love with two sisters. And you did. And it worked. I mean, I know
It is quite a thing to take on, and
Yeah.
I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
But then it worked out. They're great.
Fucking great. Do you do shows out in LA? Do you have anything?
I have
we can't
at the I have a show in October at the store, but yeah, I'll post everything on my Instagram.
Yes, which
just
is great.
Sammi Cohen.
You're so good at that.
Yeah. I'm trying to be. I'm gonna take that also. I'm gonna try to be better at social media. I'm really gonna give it a go.
Why? Your career is doing amazing.
Good point.
Without it, why torture
That's true.
yourself?
Don't
true.
join the
It is a little bit
of
of
social media.
Yeah.
You don't need those comments in you don't need those.
Yeah,
you don't need that in your
seriously.
life.
All right. Well, then.
Well, no, but spread your beautiful queer Jewish joy and your top surgery jokes, because I think a lot of people will get a lot from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of social media and everything. There's good and there's bad. Yeah. Should we end on that? The most Jewy interview you've ever done.
I love it.
That's what you get when you come on a podcast called Yenta.
Yeah. You guys are, I was hoping, and this is
what it was.
More than what I even hoped for.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I walked in, I was like, this is such a nice, you guys, it's such a nice energy. You guys are so lovely. So there's always going to be hate. You just go towards the people who make you feel warm inside.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Like this beautiful group.
Yes.
Baruch Hashem.
3 future rabbis.